Our frames are not in the single digits. What a dream come true. Marty, don't roll your eyes at me. Welcome back, everybody, to Back to the Future, the game. Episode 1. It's About Time. We are on part 3 of our personal adventure, and here is where we are in our story so far. Responding to the summons of Doc's time-tossed Delorean, Marty McFly travels to Prohibition-era Hill Valley to save his mentor from a hail of gangland bullets. Because Doc Brown has a problem. He's been shot down, dead, in, 3 different, eras of time? But first, he has to find Doc, currently under arrest for burning down an illegal speakeasy. The date? June 13th, 1931, 6:12 a.m. Yeah, Doc Brown really... I'm glad he invested in bulletproof vests. Vests. God. Let's just look around the valley. Clearly reading is not my strong suit. Or speaking, rather. I was even reading when I said that.
Majestic arms. Transients welcome. I'm not so sure I want to stay in a place that welcomes transients.
Elitist. Who knew?
Wow, looks like they used a real shark.
Marty, that's an illustrated picture. I don't know, maybe he's being sarcastic. I mean, he did see... Compared to Jaws 19, it is quite realistic. That was insightful.
Hey, can I get some moose?
What does this look like, a hunting lodge?
It's amazing how language just transforms and evolves. Or in some case... Alright, changes over time. Evolving or devolving, I guess, is up to the listener slash speaker.
You gonna buy anything?
No.
Then get out, huh?
Well, that was rude.
I guess this is where the speakeasy burned down. How'd Doc ever get mixed up in that?
It's a pretty small space to have a front business and a speakeasy at the same time. Plus, there's no basement. I mean, if there is a basement, it's the rubble from the explosion really did a wonderful job in flattening out and evening out in the end. Oh, there's the famous movie theater. Alright.
Hill Valley Stationers. Wow, this place has been around forever.
Well, since 1900s, according to the sign. I don't know why you're surprised by that, because since 1900 would be around in 1986 too, Marty.
Ron's House of Ermine. I guess there's not much call for fur coats in the middle of the Depression, especially in June.
Yeah, and in California. I thought I clicked on the stationer sign again, because they're so close. Anything else I missed over here? Shark. The musical. They're actually making a musical on the creation of Jaws. I think it's called Bruce?
Gale, Zemeckis, and Fine. Attorneys at law. No solicitors.
That's a cute Easter egg.
Hello?
No solicitors!
That man had to just be standing at that door to close it. Right in Marty's face.
Bank of Italy?
Honestly, I don't know what else I could say. So I don't blame Marty for thinking that.
How can I help you, sir?
Without any money, I don't really have any business in there.
That's why I never go to banks, Marty. Even in the now times. It looks like an ad sign for... electing a Thomas as mayor. Ooh, a soup kitchen. Well, we don't have time for soup now. We gotta go visit our friend. Or find our friend. Who's in jail, so I don't...
Sisters of Mercy Soup Kitchen. Come for the soup, stay for the salvation.
Stay Sober Society. Ah, the Prohibition.
Hill Valley Police Station. Cripes, this place looks old, even for 1931.
Who are you and what do you want?
Can I talk to, Carl Sagan?
Are you his lawyer?
No.
Then scram.
Rude. Well, to be honest, I don't know what Marty expected. Luckily, this police station was designed very oddly. Just street-facing jail windows.
Doc!
Marty,
Doc!
what are you doing here?
You sent for me, Doc.
I did? When?
May 14th, 1986.
1980? The automatic retrieval system, of course. I'd almost forgotten about that.
So what's our plan for getting you out of here?
Plan? We don't need a plan.
We don't.
Not in the slightest. The police picked me up for that Speakeasy fire a couple of weeks ago, but the DA hasn't got a case. They're releasing me tomorrow morning.
So basically, I traveled 50 years into the past to deliver your car?
Sorry about that, but it's so wonderful to see you. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, you might want to hold off on that, Doc.
Oh, way to kill the mood, Marty.
Great Scott! I'm going to be gunned down by gangsters on the steps of the courthouse.
Why would they do that?
Guess they didn't approve of my burning down their speakeasy.
Very funny, Doc. Maybe now we should come up with a plan.
A plan, right? But what?
He just saw a picture of himself. If you see that picture, there's blood pouring from his skull. And he immediately makes jokes. Doc Brown.
Why don't we tell the authorities?
Tell them what? That my friend from the future has proof that I'll be murdered tomorrow? They'd ship us both off to the loony bin. And trust me, you don't want to see the inside of a 1931 insane asylum.
Yeah, well, we see the inside of some asylums, in the comics. But you know, I'll leave that to you people to read if you care.
Why don't I take the DeLorean, go back in time before you were arrested, and stop you from getting caught in the first place?
Don't even think about it. Without my unjust incarceration, the events that sent you into the past might never happen, resulting in a paradox of continuum-shattering proportions.
Jeez, we've been back together for 5 minutes, Doc, and you're already talking about the end of the universe. I've missed that.
Don't be ridiculous, Marty. I was only referring to the end of the universe as we know it.
Honestly, the best part of this game, or really anything involving Back to the Future, is that you just get to spend any amount of time with the characters in the world. And that is due in great part to Marty and Doc and the friendship they have. Anyway, that's my own mini essay. If you want more, I'll gladly give you more of that. But anyway, let's put our minds back to thinking about getting Doc out of jail.
Hey, maybe I could talk to the gangsters. Tell them they're about to shoot the wrong guy.
I don't think the criminals of this era are going to be very receptive to a complete stranger telling them that their secret assassination plan is misguided, do you?
Dude, his sarcasm never ends. And he just saw that photo of his own corpse. It's wild.
Well, I suppose I could just get some dynamite and break you out of jail.
No, that's far too dangerous. Not just to me, but to random innocent people in the past. The repercussions could be... That's it!
What's it?
My rocket-powered drill.
You have a rocket-powered drill?
Not yet. I haven't built it yet.
What?
You've lost me, Doc.
Listen, a few months ago, my 17-year-old self sent in a patent application for a rocket-powered drill. I abandoned the project after I never heard back from the patent office, but the prototype should be nearly complete.
Great, I'll just run back to your lab and...
No, I said nearly complete. You need me to help you finish it.
How the hell am I supposed to sneak a half-finished rocket-powered drill into your cell?
Not me. 1931 me.
Oh.
Wait a minute, Doc. You want me to convince your 1931 self to build a rocket-powered drill to break you out of jail?
Precisely.
Marty, when you woke up this morning, back in 1986, did you think any of this was going to be happening today?
Won't talking to yourself cause, irreparable damage to the space-time continuum or something?
It should be fine. I've already invented the idea of the rocket drill. You've just got to goad my younger self into finishing the prototype.
I guess.
How am I supposed to convince your younger self to finish the rocket drill? Just tell him I need to break his older self out of jail?
Absolutely not. Whatever you do, you can't tell my younger self anything about time travel. I won't come up with the inspiration for the flux capacitor for another 24 years.
Then what am I supposed to...
Just be your charming self. From what I remember, I'm a pretty easygoing kid, so enlisting me in a scientific adventure should be a piece of cake.
Okay, well, let's say I go along with this crazy idea. Where can I find you? I mean, the other you.
How should I know? It was over 50 years ago. Why don't you go over to the soup kitchen next door and give my house a call? They'll know where to find me.
Soup kitchen. Got it.
Just stay away from the soup. It'll cause irreparable damage to your digestive system.
Oh, he remembers that part of today.
I guess I better get started. Don't worry, Doc. I'll get you out of here in no time.
I'm not worried. Once you and my younger self put your heads together, you'll be unstoppable.
I love how the police don't care that a civilian is talking to. Just talking casually through the bars of their jail cells. Anyway. Let's ignore the incompetence of the Hill Valley police. And just find teenage Doc Brown. Who we've never seen before. We've never seen a Doc younger than his 40s. And let's be honest, the jump between teenager and 40s is a lot more significant than 40s to however old Doc is now. 90s?
McFly! Biff?
Kid!
Grandpa?
That's Mr. Tannen to you, Artie. What are you doing out here? Well, I was getting kind of hungry, so I figured I'd come down here for some free soup. Just thought I'd come down for some soup. Think, McFly. The DA's throwing around subpoenas like Babe Ruth.
I don't think Ruth's a pitcher anymore.
Shut it. If one of those subpoenas landed in the hands of my number cruncher, I'd be in a whole lot of trouble. I could even get sent up the river. You wouldn't want that, would you?
Would you?
Would you?
No, of course not, kid.
All right. That's better. What are you looking at, punk? Keep your eyes on the soup, kid. Well,
Well, what?
what are you still doing here?
Sorry, kid. I'll just run back to the safe house.
You do that. And McFly,
Yes?
that hat's too flashy. You better let me hold on to it.
Uh,
Now scram!
you got it, boss.
And don't come out until I give you the all clear. I swear, if even one of you mooks could add 2 + 2 without your fingers, I'd dump that wimp into the lake. Hey! Anyway, I'm off to make myself irresistible. Don't let anyone burn down the shop while I'm gone.
They did a great job animating Artie's, his pointing minions and that weird little move that George does. It's a nice inherited family, trait, I guess.
Those who once ate delicacies are destitute in the street. Cheery.
I was thinking the same thing.
Like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Heavy. Eli thought she was drunk and said to her, "How long will you keep on getting drunk? Get rid of your wine." Eli should mind his own business.
Hello from the editing room, everybody. Just want to point out that when Marty went back in time, he did stop his mother from drinking, or heavily encouraged her to stop drinking, so he's being a bit hypocritical here. Anyway, let's continue.
You might regret it later in life.
Don't be such a square. Everybody who's anybody drinks.
For we were born only yesterday and know nothing, and our days on earth are but a shadow. Actually, I won't be born for about 40 years.
Marty reads aloud like I do.
Lazy hands make a man poor, but diligent hands bring wealth. Maybe that's my problem. Lazy hands.
Oh, Marty, you're anything but lazy.
Eli thought she was drunk and said to her, "How long will you keep on getting
we're
drunk?
repeating now.
Get rid of your wine." Eli should mind his own business.
Marty, all the movies, all that shit you did in the movies, like all of part 2, took place in the course of, 3 days? It's insane. When you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything, Marty.
Brown residence?
Hi. Do you know where I could find Emmett Brown?
Young Master Brown is currently tending to his clerking duties at the courthouse.
Clerking duties?
I say he's calling.
The courthouse? Doc never told me he worked at the courthouse.
Well, I doubt the subject will come up. It's actually weird considering how many times Doc Brown has broke the law. Clearly this job did not go well. Can I, look at anything in here? While I'm here?
Nice rack. Yeah, we got all kinds of culinary enhancements back there.
Well, I'm sure you do. Reserved for charity.
Okay. Hey, never mind.
Marty's like me. He just, when someone doesn't notice you when you're talking to them, you just give up. Like, okay. I guess I'll just move on. Oh, well, let's talk to Doc about this. Because this is quite a plot twist. I mean, what else hasn't he remembered / told us?
Psst, Doc!
Marty, have you found my younger self yet?
Alright, Doc. Way to just pop in here.
So, according to the British guy on the phone, you're working at the courthouse.
Of course. In the summer of 31, my father made me work as a junior clerk.
That doesn't sound like any fun.
I hated every minute of it.
I imagine.
My father was, strict. In any event, you should head over to the courthouse right away and introduce yourself to me.
What does a law clerk do anyway?
Horrible paper shuffling task, but that's unimportant. Get yourself to the courthouse and find me.
That's boring.
Where have you been all this time? I missed you.
I've missed you too, Marty. But I thought it was important to let you live your own life for a while, free from the insanity of time travel.
I gotta admit, it was nice to not have my family history blowing up in my face for a few months.
Besides, I've been busy raising my own unpredictable teenagers.
Oh yeah. Wow, they're teenagers now? Doc, how old are you? I mean, I know you had that youth thing in 2015.
So how are Clara and the kids?
They're fine. Right now we're trying to decide where to send Jules and Vern to college. Clara prefers the 2020s, but I'm partial to the 1960s. We're planning on visiting you and Jennifer in 2011 soon.
Me and Jennifer? In 2011?
Oh, forget I said anything.
I just realized this game came out 11 years ago, and I feel tremendously old. Also, Jules and Vern are approaching college age. Doc Brown has to be late 90s. So, yeah, he's mid-90s. Because I assume him and Clara didn't have kids, like, immediately. Anyway, I'm sorry for that little side. Math. Rant seems too strong of a word for the very simple math I just did, but anyway. I'll shut up now.
Where'd the Delorean come from? The last time I saw it had been smashed to pieces by a train.
It's a fantastic story. Do you remember when the DeLorean got struck by lightning in 1955?
Yeah?
Unbeknownst to either of us, the lightning produced a temporal duplicate of the time machine, one that was tossed 70 years into the future.
What?
I found out about it during a trip to 2025 and recovered it just in time to stop Griff Tannen from vandalizing the time stream.
Heavy. So that DeLorean...
is for all intents and purposes the exact same machine as the original. Plus or minus little bells and whistles I've added over the years, of course.
I'll buy it. I don't want to get into another nerdy Back to the Future theory rant, but does time travel break the law of preservation of matter? That's all I'm going to say. It's an interesting question.
So, what were you doing in 1931 anyway?
Oh, nothing terribly exciting. Indulging in a little personal nostalgia, picking up a few rare out-of-print books to surprise Clara on her birthday, solving a historical mystery or two. The usual.
The usual? You lead a pretty unusual life, Doc.
It's an unusual universe, Marty.
Oh, I love these two. I love these two so much. Words cannot express how much I love these people.
I hate to tell you, Doc, but your last time departed display is on the fritz.
It is? So how did you find me?
I found one of Edna Strickland's shoes in the Delorean.
How did one of her shoes get in the DeLorean?
Einstein took it from her.
He did? How strange. Heidi almost never attacks people. Not without a good reason, anyway.
Yeah, Heidi's a good boy.
How'd you wind up in jail in 1931 anyway?
During my trip to the past, I decided to look into one of Hill Valley's unsolved mysteries.
The fire at the Speakeasy.
Exactly. I thought I was safely hidden across the street. But when the fire started, there was a tremendous explosion, and I was knocked unconscious by a stray brick. When I woke up, I was here in jail, charged with arson.
That's horrible.
I know. Worse yet, I still don't know who started the fire.
How very like Doc Brown, spending weeks in jail for a crime you did not commit, and the only thing he cares about is not knowing the answer to the mystery.
Guess who I bumped into at the soup kitchen? My grandfather.
No!
Don't worry, I didn't talk to him or change his future or anything.
Good.
I wish I could, though. This era's tannin is treating him like dirt.
Don't worry. If history plays out as it's supposed to, he'll soon be out from under Kit Tannen's thumb and free to live out his life as a humble accountant with your grandma. What was her name again?
Sylvia.
Right, Sylvia.
What's the story with this kid Tannen jerk anyway?
Biff's father? By this time next year, he'll be pulling down a life sentence in San Quentin. There was even a song about it.
Wait,
what?
If Biff will be born in 1938 and Kid will be in prison...
As I recall, he escaped from prison in 1937 for about 3 hours.
That's a busy 3 hours.
No kidding.
I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I really like the hand behind the neck thing that Marty does. I know he does it in the movies too, but it's just a nice familial trait of McFly's.
What do you know about Edna Strickland?
Edna? We never really socialized when I was younger.
I know
she was
why.
a few years older than me, and
can
we
see
traveled
why.
in different socioeconomic circles. Why do you ask?
She thinks you're a hero for burning down that speakeasy. She's doing a story on you.
A story? Oh, yes, now I remember. Ask Edna, the etiquette column that doubled as a pro-temperance soapbox. She believed that the consumption of alcohol would inevitably lead to a complete societal breakdown.
Sounds like a fun gal.
You should have seen her when the hippies started showing up in the 60s. She just about lost her mind.
That would explain a lot.
Look, Doc, it's been an honor to be talking to you, but I gotta go talk to you.
Hang in there, Doc.
Not the best choice of words, Marty.
Oh, man. Alright, well, let's go find another Doc so we can talk to a good friend again. Something about being in the presence of these characters, to me anyway, in particular. Well, not to me in particular, but these characters in particular. Anyway. It's just so... It just feels right. It just feels like a piece to it, if that makes sense. Anyway, courthouse. Finally, I don't think Marty's ever been inside this building, so let's try.
Don't touch those! These are very sensitive legal documents. Nobody is supposed to handle them but sworn officers of the court. Judge Brown says so.
What?
Judge Brown? Doc. Nice to meet you. I'm Michael, Corleone.
Emmett Brown. But I am a law clerk, not a doctor. Now please get out of my way. I have important business to transact.
Did Marty forget his undercover name there for a second?
Naturally, H2A multiplied by the inversion of H.
That's Emmett Brown? But he's high. He's so high. He's so... thin. Honestly, younger me kind of had a crush on Teenage Emmett Brown, and I still see why.
Listen, Emmett, you don't know me, but I'm your friend.
I'm not big on friends. They get in the way of work.
Oh, wow.
What's this important business you're up to?
It's a legal matter. Very complicated, very abstruse. I need to obtain 5 sets of initials on every copy of this writ of indemnification before before Judge Brown can even think of granting a waiver to the party in the first part.
You have no idea what it's about, do you?
That's how important it is.
Aww.
Come on, Doc. Emmett, drop the Legal Eagle Act. I got something more important
Why,
for
he
you to do.
doesn't even know you.
Mr. Corleone, I'll have you know that the law is the very mortar that holds society together, and we in the legal profession are like brick masons building the edifice of the future.
Your dad tell you that?
Every morning.
Aww.
So, Emmett, what time are you through with work?
Depends. On weeknights, Pop sometimes keeps me in the office till 9.
9 at night? But today's Saturday.
Right. So I probably won't get off before 10.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, how old are you?
How about you knock off work early and I'll buy you a beer or soda? What do you say?
Don't try to tempt me from my duty with sugary beverages. Keeping the wheels of justice turning, that's my one passion in life. Besides, if I left before 8, my pop would kill me.
In about 50 years, you're gonna burn down your own home for insurance money. Well, and other reasons, but insurance money is also involved. Just saying.
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
Oh, well. According to that tone of voice, sir.
Listen, I understand you're working on a new invention in your lab.
Invention? You must have me mixed up with somebody else. I'm in law. I have absolutely no interest in science.
What?
Which brings us back to H.
Don't walk away from me, sir.
Come on, wait up a minute.
You again? Can't you see I'm busy?
Yeah, mumbling.
See, I'm sort of in the science business myself. That's why I sought you out.
Not that I care in the least, because science is the furthest thing from my own area of interest, which is law, but I don't believe you.
It's true.
Fair.
I'm a scientist.
So tell me something, Mr. Scientist, from your vast storehouse of scientific knowledge.
The leg bone's connected to the thigh bone?
Amazing.
Honestly, Marty, that's fair.
Okay, so you don't want your old man to know. That's fine. Listen, we all keep secrets. But I'm telling you, you can level with me about this science project of yours.
I am not a scientist. Go ahead, ask me what E equals.
What does E equal?
I have absolutely no idea. See? I don't know where you got your information from about me, mister, but you're wrong, wrong, wrong.
Yeah. Teenage Emmett. He's a little uptight. to put it mildly. Maybe older Emmett can help us. As we slowly walk over here. I don't know why I don't run. Because you can in this game. I just don't.
Psst, Doc.
Marty, how goes the escape plan?
Well, I met your younger self.
Great.
And I gotta say, you're kind of uptight.
What?
You won't even talk to me.
I find that hard to believe. Tell me what happened.
Well.
I tried asking him about your rocket drill, but he says he's not a scientist.
What? What? Father.
What's he got to do with this?
In 1931, I was still deathly afraid of my father discovering the truth about my scientific predilections, so I carefully kept them under wraps, practicing science at odd hours, away from his prying eyes.
That sucks.
It sucked a lot. Fortunately, I eventually stood up to him. But right now, my younger self probably thinks you've been sent by my father to check up on me.
Oh, God. That sounds awful. I'm so sorry, Doc.
What do I do to convince Teen Doc that I'm not a spy?
Teen Doc.
I'm not sure.
I don't know why I just like that phrase.
You know, your younger self seems really dedicated to the law.
It's a facade, I assure you. I had to keep up appearances to appease my father.
Why does your younger self mutter all the time?
Muttering? Why would I be muttering? I never mutter unless... the Hill Valley Expo!
The Expo?
Yes, the Expo. How could I have forgotten? In a few months, the younger me will put on a demonstration at the Hill Valley Exposition, my first public foray into the world of science. Everyone in town will be there, including a number of noted inventors who shaped my career.
So, it was a big success?
No, it was a miserable failure, but it was a spectacularly miserable failure. One which marked my transition from an amateur garage scientist into a professional seeker of truth.
I think quote-unquote failures are great. They often have much better stories to them.
What does this expo have to do with you muttering all the time?
When I was younger, I used to relieve stress by working on complex mathematical conundrums. No doubt my younger self is working on some impossible problem in an attempt to work off cerebral steam in the weeks before the exposition. What was I muttering about?
I don't know, h to the something with an inverse of something else. I'm not so good at equations.
That's too bad. I bet if we could solve my younger self's problem, he'd be more inclined to listen to you.
I'm not good at remembering spoken words either, Marnie. I'm terrible at it, actually.
Let's talk about your younger self's problems later.
Okay, but don't forget we're on a bit of a deadline here.
He's still making puns! Dude, I love Doc Brown. I love Marty. I love their friendship. It just makes me so incredibly happy. Alright. So what do we got that can help us? We got a phone number.
Brown Estate, Klondike 51038.
We got a photo.
I love my dad and grandpa, but I'm kinda happy I get my looks from Mom.
Fair.
This notebook has all of Doc's plans for the flux capacitor and the Delorean. I'd better make sure it never falls into the wrong hands.
Well, good on you to be its protector, Marty. You're doing a wonderful job. And this.
Marty?
Ah!
Ah! Alright, well, this is a tape recorder. Interesting. I remember this puzzle taking younger me forever. And in retrospect, it's really embarrassing that it took me that long.
A multiplied by the inverse. Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
That's so awkward. Ugh.
Now, if H stands for one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, then naturally...
I wish I had the courage to mumble to myself about my own thoughts in public as much as Emmett is right now. Run! Run, damn it, Marty! Sorry, when the camera changes, the control change. I'm using a keyboard. Alright. What's up, Doc?
Psst, Doc! So, Doc, does this ring a bell?
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
Good grief! Is that me? I sound so...
Young?
I was gonna say intense. I forgot how wound up I used to get.
Yeah, but what are you muttering about?
Oh, that's easy. It's Ivanov's conundrum. Just tell my younger self that H equals a Hamiltonian operator.
Won't giving him the answer mess up the time stream?
Only if it turns out that reality is actually nothing more than a holographic illusion created by the interplay of subatomic particles on a vast two-dimensional membrane.
What?
So...
It'll be fine.
So VR.
I know this really isn't the right time or place, but I found your notebook.
Ah, so that's where I left it. Why'd you bring it here?
Because the bank's selling off all your stuff.
They can't do that.
That's what I keep trying to tell them.
Well, you hold on to it for safekeeping. We'll deal with my financial situation in 1986 after we save me from a grisly death in 1931.
Can you help me with my financial situation too, Doc? You know, while you're at it. Just a question. Alright, I think we've done everything now. Alright.
Hang in there, Doc.
Oh, no more puns from Doc. Alright, well, we got the answer now. Through cheating, yes, but, you know. I think it's a bit much asking Marty to understand it. In the course of maybe 2 hours. He is, as they say, on a bit of a deadline here. You're such a good boy, Einstein.
Hey, how you doing, Einie?
I hear him. Where is he? Where's he coming from?
In that case, H to the A.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Corleone.
It's Callahan, sir, but I understand I did introduce myself with the name that I chose incorrectly.
Maybe H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
What did you just say?
I said maybe H equals the...
Hamiltonian operator?
Yeah.
Great Scott! If H is a Hamiltonian, then H to the A multiplied by the inverse of H can only be the same as the expectation value for A. That's it! That's the solution to Ivanov's conundrum, the problem I've been wrestling with in my head all week!
I'm sure you would have figured it out by yourself in a day or two. The way you figured out how to build that rocket-powered drill.
Where did you learn so much about science?
These are all great answers.
Well, it's like this.
You know about my rocket power drill? Then there can only be one explanation.
What?
You're from the patent office. I confess I didn't quite know what to expect when I sent the paperwork, but I never expected this. Welcome! I'm at your service. What can I do for you?
Well.
Can I see your rocket-powered drill?
Of course, of course. Naturally, it's just a scale model, but it's nearly operational. I can show it to you, say, first thing in the morning.
There are several things wrong with that, sir. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Nah, that's no good. I need to see a full-size model. That's fully operational. Tonight. Otherwise, we'll have to award the patent to a competing inventor, Dr. McCoy.
Oh, no.
It can't be done. I mean, it might be possible to construct a full-size working model in that time frame, but I haven't got the main ingredient for the fuel.
I'll get it for you. What is it?
190 proof grain alcohol. And you know
What?
how difficult it is to get a hold of alcohol these days.
Especially now that someone's blown up the Speakeasy.
And besides, there's no way I can get off work until I've delivered the subpoena. Part of the investigation into the business affairs of Kid Tannen. Is it vitally important you see that rocket-powered drill today?
Yes. Is it vitally important you deliver that subpoena today?
Yes!
Listen, I'll help you deliver it, and I'll see to it you get the alcohol you need. It'll help you get that drill finished by tonight. Deal?
Deal. Here's the subpoena.
I've got to subpoena my grandpa?
Oh, no. That's gonna be
Kid
awkward.
Tannen.
Hey, I just saw him at the soup kitchen, yelling at Arthur McFly.
I'm not surprised. Arthur does the books for his business.
What kind of business?
That's what the DA is trying to find out.
Let's go talk to him.
No!
Why not? Kid Tannen can tell us where Arthur's hiding.
Yeah, well, he can also have us fitted for a Chicago overcoat.
I got that right. He's sizing one up now for Doc, which is why we need that rocket drill. And so we will work on getting the rocket drill with the fuel, you know, the ever-abundant alcohol in the 1930s, and by serving the subpoena. And we'll do all that next time. So thank you for watching this long and nerdy video full of rants. And I can't wait to continue this adventure with you guys. This is Zoe, aka Ponxie Dawn, saying knit like a tree and get out of here. Alright, clearly Einstein listened to me, so why don't you?